Hello, thanks for joining me. In today's video I'm going to do a comparative review of my Rukka riding pants with my Klim riding pants. This is a follow-up to the previous video which I made in which I compared the two jackets. So I own the full suit for both of those. So these are the Klim Badlands pants which go with the Badlands jacket which I talked about in the last video, and these are the Rukka Kalavesi pants, and these are sort of the touring, the high-end touring pants. These are the high-end adventure touring pants. So I think it makes for a very interesting comparison because they are both excellent riding trousers, but there are some significant differences between the two, and that's really what I want to talk about as a user. So the reason I'm making this video is that most of the reviews that you see on YouTube of this kind of riding gear are either made by the manufacturers or they're made by retailers. And so I want to talk about what is it actually like using and riding these pants. You know, what are the features that I like about them, and why do I have both of them. And I'm hoping that if you're watching this, it's going to be useful for you if you are thinking of buying one or other of these pairs of riding trousers, because it's a big investment. These are both in the UK round about £900. That's a major chunk of money to invest in a pair of riding trousers. And so, yeah, hopefully I'll have to say some things that will be useful for you, because I'm going to go into quite a bit of detail about both of these. I should say at this point that I have no vested interest in this. I have no interest in either of these these manufacturers or any retailers that sell them. And I bought the jackets that I talked about in the last video and these trousers with my own hard-earned money. And I've worn them both quite a lot, and so yeah, I think I've got a good feel of what they're like. So let's get into the detail of them then. I will put both of the pairs of trousers on to show you what they're like on me in a moment, but what I should say straight away is there is a significant difference in the style and fit of these trousers. So I would say that the Rukkas are more for road riding, more of an adventure riding trouser. They're much narrower in the leg, and I'll talk about the boot fit in more detail later, but that's more suitable. The bottom of the trousers there, a lot narrower, a lot more suitable, and the knee armour, which I'll go into more detail in a minute as well, for road boots or adventure riding boots. So I have some City adventure boots, and they fit really nicely under the Rukka trousers, whereas the Klim trousers are a much wider, you might say baggier fit, looser fit, that are much more suitable for wearing MX boots and knee armour, knee braces, sorry. So in fact I have no knee armour in, I have no knee armour in here. I've taken it out because I wear these trousers with my knee braces and with my motocross boots, and that's a really good fit. And that's a significant difference between the two. If we start at the top of the trousers, these are both the same waist, so these are both 36 waist, which by the way on me is quite a loose fit, because I tend to wear them as over trousers. I will wear them over a base layer, or even sometimes, particularly with the Rukkas, I'll wear them over a pair of trousers, you know, for commuting, something like that. If I'm going somewhere, then I just take them off and I've got ordinary pair of jeans on underneath. But they're both very similar at the waistline. They've both got double press stud fastener here, a fly zipper with a nice wide gusset in, so it's very easy to pull them on, and they both have adjustable waist bands fitted in. So on the Rukka here, the adjustment is via these buckles. You can cinch up the waist if it's a little slack. As if we have a look at the Klim here, so the same double press stud fastener, zipper fly, the nice gusset. On this, the adjustments on the waist here are Velcro adjustments, so they're a little bit easier than the Rukka if you're just wanting to adjust them when you've just put them on. A big difference between the two is that the Rukka comes with braces. So I took down the back here, but you can see the braces. They are part of the kit when you buy the Rukka, whereas the Klim doesn't come with braces, but you can see I've fitted some aftermarket braces on here. These are sort of heavy duty biker braces, and the reason I like to wear both of the pants with braces is, as I've said a minute ago, they're quite big on me. And so I find if I don't wear braces, they fall down, and I like that looser fit. Firstly, because I can get layers on underneath, so if it's cold I can get leggings on, a base layer underneath, or even just wear a pair of jeans underneath. But secondly, I find that if I wear trousers with too tight of a waistline, when you're sat on the bike, it tends to crunch up and get uncomfortable. So I just like that sort of baggier feeling. And also, if you're out on the trail and you have quite a large lunch, then you can accommodate that easily if you've got braces. Both pairs of trousers have these nice big cargo pockets on the side. On the Rukka, I think they're possibly slightly bigger, the Rukka ones. They've certainly got a wider gusset. There's a gusset all the way around the pocket here, which means it kind of, when you've got stuff in it, it'll fill out quite nicely. And the access is from the top with these. It is slightly slanted, you can see, but it's from the top. So there's a couple of press studs here that you open up. Waterproof zipper, you open, and then it's a Gore-Tex lined, fully waterproof pocket here, and that's the same on both sides. In comparison, the cargo pockets on the Klim, couple of significant differences. See straight away the angle of these are designed to access when you're sat on the bike. So when you're sat on the bike and your leg is up in that position, then it's straight down for getting in that position. These have Velcro fastened on the as you see, there's a nice little I don't know, you call that a tab, something to grab there. You just pull the Velcro open. I have to admit, I find that Velcro easier to open and close than the press studs on the Rukka. Again, we've got a waterproof zipper here, and then you can get into the pocket. There is a gusset around there. You can see it's a slightly darker material. It's not, but the gusset is only on the bottom bit there, not on the top and the side. So that pocket is smaller than the Rukka in terms of getting stuff in it. So they both have those pockets. On the Klim trousers, the side cargo pockets are the only pockets that there are, whereas on the Rukka there is a third pocket here, a little waist pocket, which I find very useful. I use that a lot, and I kind of miss that on the Klim. I wish the Klim had a just little pocket up there as well, useful for just popping things in. But anyway, just another difference. Oh, and I should have pointed out, I didn't say, the Klim comes with the braces, but they are removable. You can remove them to wash the pants, or remove them if you don't want them. It's quite a nice little system actually. It's just like a Velcro fastening system where they go into the pants. So yeah, you don't have to use the braces with the Rukka pants, but they do come with them there. Both the trousers have leather on the inside, which is excellent for gripping, particularly when you're riding standing up, and I find it very effective on both of them. It works very well. You can very comfortably grip the tank, the side of the bike with that leather, and you're not sliding around whilst you're riding. So let's get into some of the really significant differences between the trousers. And as you get down to the bottom end, as I said, the Rukkas are a much slimmer fit, and these are nice fit actually. I'll show you a picture of me on in a minute. But the knee armour is much longer, so the knee armour starts here, goes all the way down here. You can access it from a little pocket there on the outside, so you can actually remove the armour from the side. But you've got that much better protection down your shin with these. And as I said earlier, I think that's more designed for a road boot or an adventure style boot. And when I wear these pants with my adventure boots, that just kind of sits over the front, and so I've got continuous protection all the way up from my feet all the way up to my knees, and I feel that armour is really good. because they're a narrower pant at the bottom, there's a much longer zip. You can see that the side, it's a side zip here, which is very easy to access, and that side zip goes all the way up, right up to your knee. So that opens up, there's a nice wide gusset inside that zip, opens up nice and wide so you can get that over your boots, and then once you've got it over, you do up that zip and it fits really tightly. And then there is a Velcro fastener at the bottom to sort of cinch it up as tight as you want. And as I pointed out with the jacket, just a really nice feature with Rukkas is you've got this Velcro tab, and there's just a little bit of Velcro there on the gusset, so that when you've got them open, because if you've got big boots on, you might just ride with them open. That tab's not flapping about. It just parks it there, which is great. And then when you close them up, then obviously you can cinch that up at the bottom. So I've not actually tried it, but I assume because that gusset's so wide that you could wear these over the top of motocross boots if you wanted. I think that'd be wide enough. I'll maybe try it in a minute and see. Let's compare that with the Klim then. So the armour that comes with the Klim trousers, the knee armour, is much shorter. I've taken it out. I don't use the armour because I ride with my knee braces on, but this is the armour from the knee of the Klim trousers, which goes there. And I've just taken one of the knee armour pieces out of the Rukka, and you can see the difference. So I didn't say earlier, I did say when I was talking about the jackets, but it's D3O armour all round in both the jackets and the trousers for both these suits. Excellent armour, but you can see how much longer this one here that I'm holding in this hand is the knee armour out of the Rukka suit, and this is the one out of the Klim suit, so it's much longer. Also, you can see it's a sort of neater fit, so when you've got the Rukka trousers on, that just feels to me to fit more neatly round my knee, and obviously it looks less bulky. But both of them provide excellent protection. This is one of my knee braces, so I wear pod knee braces, and they fit very, very comfortably underneath the Klim trousers. You know, they're designed to be able to do that. And because they're quite big at the bottom, what we've got is a zip at the back on the Klim trousers rather than the side. It's a much shorter zip, you can see there, but that goes down, and then we've got press studs, and you've got 1, 2, 3 press studs. So I actually kind of cinch that right up at the bottom because I don't like my trousers flapping around at the bottom, otherwise I tend to catch them on my foot pegs. And also you can see there's a strap here just below the knee where you can cinch down the trousers knee as well, so that's, you know, even though the legs are quite wide, you can tighten them up by using that strap and tighten them at the bottom, and I find that when I do that it's a much better fit. But these are quite a broad and baggy fit on me. Whilst I'm talking about the armour, I'll point out that both trousers have hip armour as well, D3O hip armour in both of the trousers, but the Klim also has a little bit of armour in the back to protect your coccyx, you know, the bottom of your spine, whereas the Rukka armour doesn't have that coccyx protector in, so just a minor difference there. If we're looking at the design of the trousers, they're both very, very rugged. Both pairs of trousers very, very rugged. But I think it's clear that the Klim is designed more for sort of off-road use, because it's got this, I think they call it the super fabric on the knees, which is extremely tough. You know, it feels like that would take an awful lot of abrasion and scraping. So, you know, just general wear and tear. By you can see these are well worn. They really could do with a wash. They're really quite dirty. But you know, despite that, there's no sign of any damage to the fabric on that at all. Compare that with the Rukka knees. The knees of the Rukka pants are also sort of this tougher material. It's maybe not show up so well on the camera because it's all just black, but this is tougher than the rest of the material in the pants. And even though it doesn't feel quite as substantial as the Klim trousers, you know, I've been wearing these now for many years, including, you know, camping trips. So not just on the bike, but, you know, kneeling outside the tent and, you know, things like that. And so, you know, I've taken quite a lot of punishment of these trousers, and there's absolutely no sign of wear. You know, it's a bit dirty, but, you know, when I wash them and reproof them, they come up as good as new to these. So I think both pairs of trousers I would say are very rugged. You probably saw when I was doing the review of the Klim jacket that there was the sort of molly system on the pocket, the side pocket, and we've got that equally here on this. So on the right side, it's only on the right side cargo pocket, there's a sort of little molly loops there where you can put a molly pouch on. I've never actually used those. I just don't see myself riding with loads of stuff hanging off me. You know, I've sort of the philosophy of have as much stuff on the bike as you can rather than on you. So I tend not to actually carry much stuff in the pockets, typically my camera and my reading glasses, something like that, where I can just quickly grab them, and, you know, I've got them with me if I'm off the bike. So I've never actually used those, but, you know, if that appeals to you, that's another little feature which is unique to the Klim. And the last thing I'll talk about is venting. Both pairs of trousers are well vented. I would say they're both adequately vented. So on the Rukka here, you've got a thigh vent there on either side. And if you want to vent your lower legs, because there's this external zipper pocket for the knee pouch, you can actually use that as a vent. So if you just open that up, because the knee pads are so long, they're not going to pop out of there, and that is an extra bit of venting on your lower leg. Though I really question the need for venting on your lower leg, because if you've got big boots on, I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. But, you know, I guess if it's really hot, the more venting the better. So yeah, the nice venting there on the Rukkas, but as with the jackets, when I was talking about the jackets, I feel the Klim really wins out. I think the venting on the Klim is much, much better. So let's have a look at those trousers. So the Klim has the thigh vents, but they're bigger than the vents on the Rukka, and also you can see they run diagonally across, and I don't know if you'd noticed, but as soon as I open that zip, it opens up. It really opens up, so the air gets in, whereas on the Rukka trousers, and I have the same issue with the Rukka jacket, you open the vent zip and it sort of stays closed like that. It stays really sort of tightly closed, so you know, even though the vent's open, there's not as much air getting in, but that just kind of opens up. And significantly, if I just turn these round, you'll see that the Klim have an exhaust vent at the back. So if you open the exhaust vent at the back here, then you definitely get air flowing through, and you really notice a huge difference with that, with having the exhaust vent, because it just increases the through flow, if I can say it, of air, which you know, I find these are much better trousers for riding in warmer weather. But I think I said when I was talking about the jackets, the reason I have the two suits is the Rukka tends to be my winter riding jacket, so I'm wearing that in colder weather, usually in rain, and then so I rarely have the vents open, either in the jacket or the trousers on the Rukka. I have had a few occasions I had them open, but hardly ever, whereas the Klim I tend to wear more in the summer, but in the summer if the weather's bad, and so I do have the vents open more. The Klim also has lower leg vents, and they come across the front, diagonal vents that open up there, one on each leg, and that vents your lower leg. But as I said with the Rukkas, I'm not so sure how useful that is, because, you know, if you've got big boots on, you're just not going to be getting a lot of airflow through there anyway. But anyway, there it is. Yeah, so both I think well vented, but the Klim wins out. And of course, I bought the Klim in the lighter colour because I think that's better for summer riding. So both my jacket and they're not actually matching. If you saw the review of the jacket, my jacket is the one with sort of blue flashes on it, whereas these are the sort of plain grey. So I didn't buy matching jacket and trousers. I've got a thing against, yeah, anyway, it's just one of my things about kind of dressing up in a suit like that. But anyway, I still think you look bad enough like an adventure bike rider in one of these things anyway, but it's sort of cliched adventure bike rider, but you know, it's good gear which does the protection. Right, I'm going to put the trousers on in turn and give you a quick spin so you can see what they look like on. This is what the Rukka Kalavesi pants look like on. I'm wearing them with my City Adventure boots, and as you can see, they're quite slim in the leg. Fit nicely in the leg. Not tight, certainly not tight. Very comfortable, and I've got very comfortable leg movement here. There's no restriction in the movement. These are European size. These are 54, which I believe is equivalent to the 36 waist of the Klims. You can see with the knee armour in these, because it's longer knee armour, if I just point out, my City Adventure boots come up to, turn around here, my City Adventure boots come up to here, and the knee armour just comes over the top of the front of the boots down to about there. And there's plenty of room for that, it's not a tight fit. So, if you were wearing shorter boots, because the knee armour comes down to, that's the bottom of the knee armour there. So if you were wearing shorter road boots, you've got good protection down your shins there. Very easy access to these side pockets. They're great. So we've got the top pocket there. You can see I'm wearing the braces because they're not overly tight on me, these, but you can cinch it up with these side ones. Both the trousers zip onto the jacket. I find that the Rukka, because the zip on the Rukka starts here, runs all the way around. It's a nice big chunky zipper. That's very easy to attach to the jacket. The Klim, I just cannot attach. It's a fiddly little zip which just goes across the back, and I just cannot, reaching behind your back here trying to do it up. The Klim, it's just, I'm going to have to see if I can get somebody to fit an easier zip to fasten up in those trousers. But yeah, these are very comfortable. These trousers, feel comfortable in these all day riding. They're great. You can see what they look like. Okay, I'll put the Klims on. Right, so this is the Klim trousers, what they look like on. I would normally wear these with a pair of motocross boots, which are much bigger, but I've just put the City Adventure touring boots on again here. And interestingly, the bottom of these trousers are so wide, I slip them over the City Adventures without even having to undo the little side zip. So you can see I've used the press studs at the bottom here to fasten it right round to the. That's fastened right round to the tightest fitting there. If I undo that, you can see there's loads of play at the bottom of those trousers. They're really broad, but I just find if you do them up like that's fine. And then I've cinched up round the back of the knee as well with that little strap, and that sort of pulls the very voluminous fit into something a bit more manageable. But you can see they're wider all the way up, so I mean they're really quite wide up at the top here. But again, I like that. It allows me to layer, and also it makes for excellent venting if it is warm. So yeah, nice reinforced seat on these trousers as well. I have to say, I like both pairs equally. I wouldn't say that either were better, but they are different in some significant ways. Right, there you are. So I think I've covered everything that I intended to talk about there in the comparative review. I do hope that has been useful for you. If there's something that I've not covered that's important that I've missed out, please just drop a question in the comments box below, and I'll try and address that question. But really, the idea of this is just, if you're thinking about buying these, just have a look at the features and how they differ.